Hello and welcome back. My name is Rob, and today is an awesome topic. We're going to be discussing 5 lead generation tactics small businesses are overlooking in 2025. So let us jump in here. So, the 5 tactics we have strategic partnerships, community engagement that converts, earned media opportunities, email remarketing to website visitors, and video testimonials as lead magnet. And we're going to go over each one of them. So, our first one here is tactic one strategic partnerships. Having strategic partnerships can make your business life so much easier and could be one of the greatest revenue generating sources that you have. So it's important that you go into business or you start looking at your business from that partnership perspective. Who is going to be able to help you? I remember when I was looking for a manufacturer, I put together a dealer agreement and started partnering with dealers to market our products. And it worked very, very well. We had all sort of incentives for them. We did co-marketing campaigns, all sorts of things. But we also had quotas that they had to meet, and there were different responsibilities on their end. But as they were meeting them, the incentives became greater. So you want to find partners that complement your business that you can work with, and you want to create a mutual referral system as quid pro quo. Right? I give you something, you give me something. We go back and forth. Once these partnerships are in place, you can also co-create content. If you've watched my previous videos, you know backlinks, citations, and reviews. Backlinks are a easy source if you have partnerships and a nice community to draw from and co-create content, as well as events, doing webinars together, holding seminars, little things that you could do obviously helps build your brand. This is something I don't know if I need to say it, but I'm going to say it anyway. Anything that you do, make sure it's above board. Do things ethically and responsibly. Nothing shady. It's just the worst thing. Don't burn a bridge. Stay ethical and professional in your dealings. So, where do we start here? Let's look at a plan that you can easily implement right now. Identify 3 to 5 potential partners. Who is going to complement your business? If you don't know or struggling in this area, incorporate AI, brainstorm with it, and give you some ideas. Create a specific value proposition for each of them. Why do they want to work for you? What is the value that you're going to bring them? And also, what's the value they're going to bring you? It goes both ways. Establish a clear tracking system. Make sure that you know how many leads are running through and how many leads you're giving, and just always have that data that you can access easily. And start with a trial period. Don't jump in or commit yourself to something because it may not work out. Relationships that look good on paper don't always work well in real life. So have a trial period and out should the relationship not work. Again, you don't want to burn a bridge here. So make sure also if you do break up or have a partnership breakup that it is one that is mutual and are no hard feelings in the end. Tactic two, community engagement that actually converts. This is a work in progress for me. This is something, community engagement is something that I've done well with at times and have done very poorly with at other times. So I'm really working on that part. Community engagement goes beyond basic networking. This is when you're diving deeper into a cause or some type of something that's going to help you strategically in your business, right? It needs to be a strategic community involvement. 2 of the things I'm involved in, my local Chamber of Commerce, I'm a member there, and I sit on our city's business advisory board. So those are 2 things that I do. I also attend other networking events, but they're usually under one of those 2 umbrellas. Tracking engagement ROI. If you're going to event after event and community engagement after community engagement and you're not getting anything out of it, you need to look at what's going wrong here, where you're stuck. Maybe it's time to make a change. So you want to track that engagement return on investment. And it's important to look not only as a participant, but how to grow into a leadership position, right? It's going to help you form better relationships. If you are in a leadership position, you're going to be viewed as a leader. And so when it comes to your business, it's going to be much easier to be viewed as a thought leader there as well. But we need to make sure that our community engagement is converting. How do you do that? You select groups strategically, not conveniently. Now, I do have to put a little bit of an asterisk there and say there is nothing wrong with doing some things that are convenient, but there needs to be that balance. But it needs to be balanced with the strategic side. You're putting your time, your energy, your effort, and maybe your money into some of these community pieces. You need to get something out of it as well. So creating value before asking for business, just like with the partnerships, right? You need to be valuable to them. Develop a systematic follow-up process within these networking communities, within these engagement pieces that you're involved with. Make sure you follow up with them, stay in touch. Start with a LinkedIn connection, start with an email, and go. Don't just do one thing and stop. Continue on, reach out regularly, and track source of leads meticulously. You always want to know what channel is bringing you what leads. And that's in anything that you do, not only with community engagement, but every part of your business. You should know that it's vital to scaling and growing. Earned media opportunities. One of my favorite things to do on the marketing side. If you know me, or you ask anybody that knows me, low cost and no cost are huge parts of everything that I do. I always am looking for ways to save money because you only have so much of a budget, whether in personal or professional life, and budget can be eaten up rather quickly. So you always need to look for low, no cost ways to market your business, and earned media is one of those. What is earned media? Whatever industry you are in, there are most likely trade publications or organizations that are around your particular niche, your particular industry, and you want to start forming relationships with them so you can send them press releases or you can send them article contents, and they will publish it and provide a source to your business, your information within those articles. Also, if they need a quote or they need to ask somebody questions within the industry, having those relationships they're gonna hopefully build a chance that they will call you when they need something. Journalists need content, especially in the online time that we're in. They're always looking for things to add to their online so they can improve their subscription base and keep their readers engaged. If you are quoted or you do have a piece that they publish on your behalf, you want to maximize that exposure from each appearance as much as you can. Well, no matter what it is, take that, put it on your website, make sure that you're linked to the article, put it on all your socials, ask your friends to put on their socials, get as much exposure as you can. And of course, cost-effective authority building. Earned media is either nothing because you built relationships, or maybe you're a member within the organization, so your dues are the only thing you've had to pay to get this exposure. It is cost-effective authority building. About a year and a half, 2 years ago, we were at a show called ProMat. It is one of the biggest shows of the year in the material handling industry. I happen to know, I knew a few different publishers there, but one in particular I was friends with, he was there. And so I was able to secure camera time for our CEO at the show. And it was huge because it was unexpected. And his name, his information, his company information was scattered all over social media, digital magazines, and different online platforms. He received extensive industry exposure at zero cost, and that's what happens when you have relationships. So this is, I believe this was the piece from the article. I blurred all the stuff out that you don't need to know about in there, but this was from that particular show. How do you implement earned media? Just like with partnerships, identify relevant industry publications and creators. Follow and engage those particular publications. Don't just jump in and start calling them out of the blue. Know what they represent. A particular, you may have two magazines from a particular industry, but maybe one focuses on safety, one focuses on innovation. So know your audience, know what they are catering to or marketing to, so you can approach with that. Most, if not all, publications post an editorial calendar with article topics. And once you have the article calendar, you'll know all of the topics throughout the calendar year, and you can then kind of custom tailor your content on a particular month's topic that fits as well. And go a few months out. If we're in May right now, don't try to do something for May, because they need to prepare, get it ready, publish it. They're out 30, 60 days. So you want to find that out as well, but you want to start looking 90 days out and start working on things there. Offer genuine value and insights. They're not going to publish fluff, so make sure something of value. And also, many publications will have a press release submission area on their website. Find it, use it, but again, make sure it's good stuff you're putting out there. Persistency and consistency matter. Everything, when I come into an opportunity, I have a pitch sheet. So if I'm working for a manufacturing, material handling, I have a pitch sheet of all the different trade publications that I can start going after. I have the company information, a website, the journalist, the phone numbers, the links to press submissions, different posts that they have published for me, posts that they didn't publish for me, all sorts. It's a long spreadsheet that I fill out for each of them. I put this little video on here. This shows press releases and articles I was able to get published over about a year and a half period. I don't remember how many are on here, 17, 21, something like that. But this came because I had relationships with the press. Remarketing to website visitors. You're spending time, money, and energy to get people to your website. Once they arrive at your website, don't let them leave without doing your absolute best to capture their email so you can nurture them over the coming months and years, etc. So how do you do that? Strategic lead magnets are a way to get that email address. Asking for their email for a newsletter subscription box, something to capture, but again, something of value. Automated follow-up sequences. Once you get that email, that is your gold, right? You want to make sure that you handle it with kid gloves, and you want to engage and keep them involved, send them promotions, newsletters, things that we've talked about in the past, and turn browsers into leads. Again, capturing the email address and getting them into your funnel is key for future growth. How do you implement effective email remarketing? Well, first and foremost, you got to install a tracking system on a tracking piece on your website. Tag Manager, for example, with Google. You're running Facebook ads. You want to have the Facebook pixel on. So you want to make sure you're tracking all of the people that are coming to your website and have capture mechanisms in place. Email subscription box, different form fills. You can have entry and exit pop-ups. Just make sure that they're of value. As we talked about, developed automated nurture sequences, right? So somebody gets an email, submits an email address, they should automatically receive a thank you text from you or thank you email, and then the nurturing process begins. And as always, you want to test and optimize continuously. It never ends. Video testimonials as lead magnets. Video is big right now, and is big. It has been big for a long time, but it works higher conversion than text testimonials by far. You want to showcase real results and real emotions that connects with your audience. A simple collection process. Make sure that you're able to that you have a flow in place to capture these video testimonials, to make it as easy for you, easy for your customer, and that you can capture as many of them as you can. It needs to be part of the daily process or your weekly process that those get done. And make sure strategic distribution. Having a video testimonial is not something to spread brand, for spreading brand awareness. You have different segments. This is more for, growing the interest and growing the desire for your products and or services. How do you implement video testimonials? Make recording simple for clients. I've done a couple in the past where I didn't send a crew out there. They didn't come to me. They just recorded on their phone at the location. We did a FaceTime. They recorded. It worked very well. We sent them questions ahead of time, things that we wanted them to touch on. When you do have specific questions, make sure it is a blend of open-ended questions and a closed-ended questions, your yes or no's in there. You want to make sure that they say something, they expand on it, a follow-up question, they can answer yes or no. And create a distribution plan across channels, right? Multi-channel is where you want to be. So create a distribution plan to touch all those different channels and repurpose your content strategically. Where should you start? Assess your current strengths and gaps. Where are you weak right now in your business? What do you need in your business? And start there. Choose based on your customer journey. If your customer are getting stuck in abandoning carts, right, you want to start doing something there to improve that. If you're having a hard time getting people to your website, you need to improve your brand awareness. So you want to create things around that. Difficulty versus potential impact, right? Something that is more difficult to do may have a greater potential impact, but is it something to do right now? Or do you want to maybe do something that's a little bit easier on the difficulty side to start building ground quickly? And then, of course, create a 90-day implementation plan. After 90 days, reassess and kind of, course correct from there. So to recap, the 5 overlooked lead generation tactics are strategic partnerships, community engagement that converts, earned media opportunities, email remarketing to website visitors, and video testimonial as lead magnets. Next step here is to choose one tactic to implement in the next 30 days. As you're implementing it, you can start building on that and take on more tactics and grow. If you need any help, have any questions with this, please feel free to connect with me. My website, robrailis.com. My email, info@robrailis.com. Rob Railis, ROBRAILIS.com. And then LinkedIn /R Railis. So get on to it, review the 5 tactics, and start implementing them into your customer journey today. Thank you very much for watching. And again, have a great day. If I can answer any questions, please feel free to reach out. Talk to you soon.